if my woman's happy and she's comfortable and she's good, who gives a damn what the outside world got to say? I'm being who I have to be for her because at the end of the day, it's still her. I'm not laying down with Latoya or Keisha or whatever. I'm not. That's not that person. I'm with my woman. That's that. So yeah, the other no, that's nonsense. That doesn't challenge my masculinity.
Yeah, I just asked because back in the day it was you whipped and you this that and the other blah blah blah. And I just remember I can't remember what show that was on or maybe it was a movie and the dude was like, "Oh, you whipped," and he was like, "When is that ever a bad thing?"
Yeah, like damn. So if whipped equals being in love, then shoot, I'll be whipped.
Hello, beautiful people and fellow winers, and welcome to another episode of A Little Something, the number 2. Wine About with your hostesses, Siobhan Camille.
And Michelle.
Where sips get real and we wine while we wine about life, relationships, culture, and so much more. It is third Wednesday, so we are whining with the guys. We have 2 guys. They've been here before. They are back with us again on the couch. And we last week did creating a safe space for him. So now, of course, it's only right that we do creating a safe space for her in this month. Okay. That's Michelle got to be that person. I'm going to hit anyway, but so grab a glass of your favorite red, white, Pinot de Agua and join us on the couch.
Hey. Y'all, it's been a long time. Well, I mean, it's been a week. That's a long time. About a week ago. Okay. That's old now, right? Yeah.
That's what?
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, anyway, in honor of February, the theme this month is based on lovers. Lovers and friends.
Lovers and friends.
So in honor of that, we were supposed to pick wines that had something to do with love. The color may be red, something a little sensual, maybe whatever, something that gets you in the romance mind train of thought. So for our popping grapes experience, we chose a brand that we have had before. I am not sure if we have had this particular wine because Google Drive does not work outside of being off of Wi-Fi on my phone. So if this is a repeat, oh well. I don't think it is. I think this is a newer one, but who knows? This one is by Ménage à Trois. It's called Luscious.
We haven't had that one.
Okay. It's a Pinot Noir. So, excited to see what Luscious. Like them Luscious kisses. Oh my God. Excited to see what that tastes like. And to see what you're drinking.
So, I know Valentine's Day is past. Don't judge me. This one is called Viva Valentina. It is made with organic grapes, so I'm curious. I think it's a red. No, it says Rosso, which is red. So it's a red. It's a 2021 by Terra Celestiani. Terra Celestiani. So I'm intrigued. It's Italian, y'all. It's Italian. Okay. It means Sicilian land. That's what that would translate to. Okay. So I'm curious. Oh yeah, it's definitely red in here. All right, that's happening. So we will see what happens. Welcome back.
Back.
All right, so we are talking creating a safe space for her. Don't all jump in at one time. But I would like to ask, I guess my question for you all is, Where do you put that on your priority list when it comes to your relationship?
That's a good question.
I don't think it's as high as it should be on my priority list. Um, but it definitely should be, the top three on your priority list. Making sure that, your woman feels like she is safe. She can talk to you. She feels comfortable in her skin and her surroundings in the house or whatever it may be. But I feel in order to make that to be a number one thing on the list, I feel like a lot of that a lot of personal stuff needs to be worked out with self, or to make that person feel safe and welcome, feel like they can talk to you about whatever. So I believe it definitely starts with yourself to create that space. Once you have yourself figured out, then you can create that space for her. But you should make sure you have that figured out before engaging with whoever you engaging with. So yeah, should be the top. For me right now, it's working its way up there.
He said, "I don't care about you feeling safe. You here? You here? Okay, we'll get there. Once I figure out you don't feel safe, then I'll." But first, yeah, take care of yourself,
Yeah.
and then I'll jump in when you fall short. That's what he said.
Don't want anybody to fall short. So like I said, or to make sure you're good, I can lift you up and support you, make sure you're
Look,
safe.
she's
I
not
gotta,
perfect.
yeah, nobody's perfect, but you know, if you know this where you slacking in areas, you gotta make sure you tighten up to make
Right,
sure she's safe.
right, right.
Yeah. So that's my stance.
And that's the man who's dating. What about the man who's married?
I would say, to me, it depends on the day. Because as a married man, as a father, life be lifing, and sometimes we got to be adults. Your feelings at the time got to be put to the side because we got to deal with real shit. I can't fall in that emotional space, and there's still other things that need to be done. So there are times where we have to focus on what needs to be done. Then we can circle back around to how are you feeling? Because in this world, feelings don't get you paid most of the time. Feelings don't. Feelings, sadly, once you're actually in a relationship, don't really keep you in the relationship. It's more of a sense of duty and purpose. Did we decide we're going to do this because we're okay with having a bad day here and there and still knowing that it's the ultimate goal? Or am I here only to make you happy?
I chuckled a little bit because we kind of had this initial reaction was the same because he hasn't seen the other episode.
Yeah, y'all are meant for each other. You two fire signs on this couch together.
The initial reaction was the same, but our reasoning, this is where we differ. Our reasoning is different, but our initial reaction was.
Right.
But I do want to just point out, that safe spaces aren't only emotional, right? They're also physical safe spaces. Like when we had talked about making safe space for him, we had both also, because we digress, talked about feeling safe for ourselves. It's also a matter for women, I think, of being able to take the makeup off, take the body shaper off, take the wig off, take the nails off, like just
take the bra off.
Because we know that's the first thing coming off when you come in the door. Hello, women. So
I think we're okay with that space right there.
Right.
so that's a safe space. That's always safe.
That's a safe space.
That's safe.
I'm saying for most men, that's the space we want to see you guys in anyway. That's your natural state.
Right.
We don't want all the additives.
Okay.
Let me know I woke up with what I fell asleep with.
That part.
Okay. Well, to that, you said, that's what you all, you want. You want the natural, which is fine. But question: what if her natural is lacking in certain areas, and when she takes off the bra and she takes off the makeup and she takes off that, what if that safe space she needs is an emotional one, because all of that is taken off? What if that is like, and I am not speaking to myself personally, I'm just thinking, what if that is like her, I guess,
Insecurity.
armor, you know, her armor. And then when she gets home, per se, like now she's taking everything off, but now she displays her hurt. Why? Now she displays her hurt. Now she displays, like, immediately when she comes in the house, you could tell, wait a minute, this wasn't the same person I just got out the car with. Her attitude, her demeanor has changed. And what do you do to create that space where it's okay? Or do you not create the space where it's okay?
No, you have to create the space for her to let her know that it is okay. You gotta let her know. You have to create a space where she can express her feelings without any fear, any judgment, or any criticism or anything like that. Because just as well as women, men, we're going to go out in the day and we're getting battered verbally, mentally, whatever. However, you perform some type of abuse, but by the time you hit your doorstep, you're taking that off, taking that armor off, as you said. And now you're coming to that space where you can feel like you can be embraced and be loved. So it doesn't matter what you're looking like. Take the wig off, take the eyelashes off, take the makeup off, the bra off, whatever you gotta do. I want you. Like, that's who I got with, essentially. So that's all I want. And I want you to let you know that you're good here. So it's allowing for them to, like I say, it's not a judgment free space. It's a no criticism at all. And allowing them to be vulnerable. Like I said, we've been beat up all day. Now it's time for hey, babe, I had such a rough day. This was going on, or even it's a situation that we're dealing with. Hey, let me be able to express myself and be able to hear it with and I have to be able to hear it with an open mind and an open heart, because yeah, like I said, we life be life, and you just gotta be able to receive what's being said, and not criticizing, but just be open and receptive, and let it's all up there, and how can we make it better? How can I make you feel like the time you step through the door, like you're the queen that you are. You're that woman that nobody can't top. You're it. Just creating that spot. So yeah, that's what we can do to but you don't want that armor to enter your house, because that's where the arguments come in. That's where the kids might get irritated. It can be irritating to what you just dealt with all day. Your 8, 10 hours, 12 hours, how many hours you work a day. But now the kids became an issue. But the dog, the neighbor, the traffic is an issue. That and all that into the house. Like, nah, you gotta take that off, baby girl. Come on, here's a glass of wine. Here's a meal already prepped for you. Here's let me take a hot shower. Let me get the oils out. Let me massage. Like, let's talk about it. Let you digress. So I'm not quite sure what the topic was last week as far as how creating a space for men. But I guess same thing with it does apply for them as well. Just being able to take off that armor. Because no one wants to fight all day, especially not with your spouse, not with your partner. Like I said, that's supposed to be your safe haven. So um, that's my thoughts.
All right. For me, I would just say a lot of it has to do with communication. It's have you guys discussed, like, hey, I'm gonna have a good day, I'm gonna have a bad day, but how do we approach it? When you get home, can you come in the house and say, babe, it's one of them days, and where, because we've had this conversation, now I know what that means. So now I know how to go about being around you. At the same time, like you said, do I bring the outside world into the house? Where, yeah, I've had this horrible day. Now I'm home. And instead of me just coming in and, hey, baby, hey, kids, am I like, y'all get the hell away from me? You know? They don't know what I've been dealing with, or I don't know what you've been dealing with until you let me know. So, if I'm in a good mood because I may have had a great day, but you haven't, I don't know that until you communicate it.
Or maybe you see it.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely see it, but I think that also comes with the time of being with that person. You can see it, like, okay, they already having a bad day, so that without you having to say, yeah, this has been a rough day or a bad day, you're just like, all right, I already know what to do in doing that. But then also, I guess it can also be an issue is putting self aside and just doing that. Yeah, you might just have a bad day as your partner might have, but all right, cool. Somebody has to be there for the other person. So it's like just being selfless and put aside all your nonsense to make sure that other person's good. In return, you're going to get the same thing. You're able to let that person let their hair down and just be able to breathe and relax. So that, yeah, you can look like, okay, all right, now let me pick up the ball. All right, let me get the kids straight. Let me make sure the house. Let me do whatever it has to do. It's that look, especially if you've been with that person. Like I said, you've been with them for so long. Like that's it. Let me handle business. You know.
Yeah, that goes to what we talked about. That came up last week as well. Is time frame that you've been with someone, right? Because when we talked about creating a safe space for him, you were talking about somebody who's been married for 10 years versus someone who's been dating someone for a year. It's a very different, lot of different expectations and understandings and knowings of a person. Um, but what I will say is communication, and I know this is a word that a lot of people use, is very popular. Communication is more than just verbal. Like there's our body language. There's not only just what we say, even, but how we say it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we men and women need to be aware of that. And like has been said by these gentlemen, you don't want to bring the outside home, right? But you need to be able to have that conversation openly and it be balanced. But okay. My other question, so I'm gonna just I have questions. I have questions. Is men are expected, I won't say supposed, are expected to be providers and protectors, right? I want to look at the protector part for a moment because that is part of a safe space, right? And the way that the world is, and one of the things that's constantly out there from women talking to other women all over the blogs, hemispheres, social media, everything, is the danger that a lot of women feel they're in, um, not in their relationships with other men, right? So, but being in a relationship, men are expected to be a protector, and that is one difference in gender roles. Don't at me, it is what it is. So, how do you create that space for her outside, right? Like we've been talking about in the house between the two of you, but then when it comes to being a man or what's expected of a man in the society is to be a safe space for her physically out of the house, right? Like, is that something that just naturally came? You saw it from someone else? How do you build that for the person that you're with? Asking for a friend.
I would like to think that's instinctively. I think you just do that often. Let me talk for so. I think you just do that naturally. You're going to provide, you're going to protect for your woman, but like, of course, we're working, 9 to 5 or wherever your job day is, when your work day is. But maybe it's you don't work too far from your partner. Maybe it's to pop up and just show them like, hey, I'm there, or doing certain stuff as you're walking down the street, you like they're walking the inside of you, not like next to the not on the street side, stuff like that. Maybe even it's just going to the gym maybe on a regular basis and keep yourself in shape. Learn, like, hey, yeah, I got you in case anything goes down. Um, Maybe getting her involved in certain classes to learn to help defend herself, but also you're involved with her as well. To let you know, just like, hey, we're doing this together. Just in case anything happens, you're able to take care of yourself, but I should be in in position where I can go ahead and handle business, and ain't nothing you have to worry about.
So what does that look like? Like being in position so she knows there's nothing you have to worry about or that you're covered. I mean, and that's
I
not
think,
just to you. That
yeah.
could also be to the husband.
Well, yeah, you take that over real quick.
Well, here's the thing. That's going to differ with each guy because where we are very simple, we still are different, and part of it becomes nature versus nurture. So some guys are just quiet, laid back, where it's one of those, hey, this is what we're doing. Hey, I don't think you should do this. Hey, I noticed this. Hey, you know that friend? I don't think that's for you. I know you said you wanted to go here, but things like this has been happening over there. I think maybe you should go maybe on a different night or at a different time. Part of that is just simply a lot of times I know with me, because of the jobs I've had, I'm very observant. So there are times where I can go in a place and most of us we're looking where the exits are,
Yes.
where the cameras are, where we're literally let me see, like, oh, y'all going on the dance floor, okay, we not out there, but why this dude keep walking over there? All right, now I'm sitting back. We assess the situation a lot of times. You guys have no idea, like, if you, because I know she's done it where we've been out and I might see something and I'm like, hold on, I'll be right back. Nah, don't go over there. I don't already assess the situation. So me walking over there, I'm not going over there reckless. Now, if it gets to that level, then it gets to that level. But I'm going over there to discuss whatever the situation was. But I've already observed. I know who he's with. I know where they are. Generally, I have a safe distance away where I can see if something does pop off. I'm not gonna put myself in a position where I'm having a conversation. Your boy just comes up behind me. That's not gonna happen. you know. But it's just one of those things where instinctually, no, I want to make sure my woman's good, especially physically, because again, we are the more dominant physical race for the most part. There are exceptions, but for the most part, the way God intended us to be, we are supposed to be physically stronger than our female counterparts. For that very reason, if violence needs to be inflicted, we should be the ones that have to do it and not them.
I can fight.
Right, but if you don't want to.
It's nice to know how to fight and never need to fight.
Exactly.
Versus being in brawls every week.
Right. The best protection is be able to, like brother just said, just being to observe the whole situation and what's going on, put yourself in position to move the way that's needed to for the situation. These stuff, like so, you don't want you. I'm always looking for the cameras, the exits. I have family and law enforcement, so I get quizzed on stuff like, yo, what was the man who just walked past his shoes, maybe 5 seconds ago? What color was his shoelaces? And you have to be observant. Yeah, but I got to the point where I'm observant like that, and then just watching little subtleties. Of course, I'm being in martial arts and watching body language and movement. When we're working in law enforcement, I know like, okay, this is what this looks like. So being prepared in those aspects, so if anything does happen, like I say, I already have that. It's I already have a plan, so to speak. You know me, I'm chill as can be. Where I see something like, nah, it's time to move this way. Um, but it's almost, and I can say it's a burden, but it can feel like a burden at times because you girls are just out there having fun. Y'all doing not a care in the world. Just dancing it up. Like, and it's like, I want to be there with you too. I want to have that. I want to enjoy that time, that energy with you too. But nah, dude just walked by here again. Oh, okay, now I see this conversation happening. Y'all just living it up. And it's cool. Cool. Get your groove on. But
Get your groove on.
Get your
get
groove
your
on.
groove on. But I'm like,
That reminds me of
nah,
the
that's like
airport wife.
I can't enjoy myself. I can't enjoy my drink. I can't enjoy the atmosphere because I'm alert. But that's the thing. It's not just for my partner. It's for myself. It's for everybody else around. It's just like we're created in that nature. That's what our instincts tell us to. Like, oh, we need to hop on a situation. We need to do it fast and take um, settle that situation or that threat immediately. And that is like, all right, disable it, keep it moving. But
Yeah.
you also don't want to be so overprotective to the point where it looks like jealousy. It
Yeah.
looks so it's like, oh, okay, do like everybody's gonna look, somebody's gonna glance, somebody's gonna look, but it comes out to now their approach. Now it's taking it further than that, and then once the sea is becoming or has the potential of becoming more than that, all right, let me step in and let me make sure this is not a thing. It's not a situation
Yeah.
any longer. So it's burdensome, but yeah, that's protection. That's how we see that we need to protect y'all and create that safe space in that area.
Yeah, I am guilty of being the airport wife. You know, the memes that you see on Instagram where the husband's like, two guys this way, two exes, this person, TSA just walked that way. And the wife is going, making my way
So
downtown.
yeah,
I
I've
have
seen it.
definitely,
Yeah,
definitely been there. Well, and then he goes, he won't say a word, will literally just take his hand and just like
yeah,
move
guys,
me.
you right back.
And I'm like,
Yep.
what's happening? Hold up. Now, to that, there are times with even as observant as sometimes too observant as he is, there are still times where, as a woman, our instincts will go, hey. I know you're making your way downtown, but real quick, keep that. Keep that real quick. And I'll go, hey, did you see? And he'd be like, nah, but I saw this, that, and I go, oh, okay, but I saw this. And that might have been why that happened. And now we sitting together trying to piece together this whole storyline because who knows what might have happened. The digressions sometimes. But I say where you alls are heightened in public areas. Women, that does not mean that we don't have those instincts too and that we can't see. I think part of like we talked about last week of that safe space and part of that communication is the listening factor of, like I said, if I said, well baby, I just saw this, because maybe his focus was on the TSA running back behind us, and it's a situation going on, but while that's happening, I may be looking forward because he don't have eyes in the back of his head, and I can say, oh, hold up, look baby, that look right there, yeah, that over there is a whole nother situation. So, and him being saying, okay, well now he'll make the adjustment, necessary, or we'll both make the adjustment that's necessary during that point in time. And this is just one minor, small example. Y'all take this and apply it to a whole bunch of different places. Okay? Where you need to.
I just want to say, for me, I look forward to the day that I can have the air brain TSA turned off. Like I hear women speak of this, right? Like these safe spaces and these places where they can just turn their brain off. I saw, one woman was literally walking by, and it clearly was a skit, and her dude was like behind her, basically like Rambo, and she just it is that song. It's that song. Everybody uses that same making my way downtown. Pay her royalties, okay? But everybody does that, and I laugh because hearing Arion talk about, y'all in the club having a good time, or hearing the husband talk about we in the club having a good time, and you see this, that, that. I'm that person though. Like, I'm everybody's boyfriend because I be the one that I don't see. I don't really, and I know my sister can attest to this. I don't really dance when we go out. Like, I'll be on the floor because all the girls be like, "We gotta be on the floor. Come on, sis." But I'm like two-stepping, watching everybody because I trust no one. And maybe I've been single too long. I'll admit that. But I just laughed because I have not had that really. Like I haven't. And I'm not knocking for those who know, the men on the couch and I have a history. If you've been watching for the past 4 years, y'all know. And it wasn't that I didn't feel safe when we went out one on one. We also never really like clubbed like that. But I think of like all the times that we clubbed and like y'all ladies who get to plug in. I don't know if that was Vanessa Carlton or that other chick, but for all y'all who get to make your way downtown, lights fast, and you're homebound. Some of us like to get home because I would like to be in the home space. So y'all are very fortunate if y'all are making your way downtown because I am making my way uptown and it sucks. All right, please get me on the fourth, on the four and the ABC line, whatever that was. I don't remember New York City Transit line. I would like to.
Yeah, I think that's important for us to remember in this. So my last question is, I know you spoke, it's not that high on your priority list, but you're going to make a conscious effort.
Yes.
Yes, to put it higher. I don't think he expressed the level of it being on what level he on of the safe space. But it's okay. It's all right.
I said it depends on the day. You want to know what the day is? Is that the
No, I don't want to know what today is.
And honestly,
it's been over 24 hours.
I agree with that. That's why I should have said it depends on the day. Like what's going on. You gotta make sure yourself is right before anything else.
I completely agree because you all haven't seen it briefly. I gave an example of some things that we have been going through grief. And I was trying to comfort said husband. And said husband told me I don't need that right now. So I had to back up, but that was me attempting to make a safe space. And he let me know that's not the space that I need right now. My safe space right now is to be, let me do what I need to do. And where, like I told him, I was taken back. I had to clutch my pearls a little bit and check my feelings because I also knew what he was going through and I could understand that. That didn't change my feelings, but also because I love you, I'm gonna let you be. Because if I said the same thing, I would want that same respect and I would want that same space, and allowing you to have that makes me feel safe. So allowing him to have that created that was the safe space that was needed at that time. So I talked about like the space looking different from day to day, from time to time, from sometimes moment to moment, depending on what we're speaking of. So do I understand his response? Absolutely. Like I said, if you go back and watch last week's episode, I recommend that. Go back and watch last week's episode. We're gonna put it up here somewhere. We talked about that a bit. So I understand the answer. I guess my final question would be more so is, do you feel that creating a safe space for her means or is taking away from your masculinity? Because that's something that we hear so much with the simp and pick me and all of that stuff. I just want you all's opinions, like regular people who live in this life day to day for real, and not these crazy.
No.
Yeah, so one more time. So your question is, I found like this.
Do you feel like creating that safe space for her, whether you're dating or you're married, challenges your masculinity? Because in the world of today, if a man is typically seen letting a woman be vulnerable or creating that safe space for the woman and not letting her fall on her face, now it's, they're not masculine, or they're a simp, or they're a, what is it, a beta, or like
beta male,
yeah, all the other stuff. So I just wanted to know what your thoughts, you all's thoughts.
Okay. Got you now. Do I feel like does that challenge your masculinity? Absolutely not. I don't feel like it does. And if I'm just not big on society and everybody's thoughts anyway. Like you are who you are by design, and if that challenges a man's masculinity, that's why I guess the majority of women now in that era in this group, they're probably single. They can't find a good man that's going to protect, who's going to provide, it's going to make them feel safe in their own space. But if he decides to be, more caring and more involved and more in tune with his woman, he's being sassy, man. I don't know what to tell you. But but no, it doesn't challenge the masculinity or anything like that. One, you should always be secure in yourself and who you are. Everybody's foundation and upbringing is going to be different. So what you might see in your household or within your family or with your friend's family, you've seen a certain type of man be a certain type of way to their wives, to your, to maybe your mother, your grandmother, your aunts, or whatever the case may be. That was your example, right? And so wherever that might look like, it's that thing. But if my woman's happy and she's comfortable and she's good, who gives a damn what the outside world got to say? I'm being who I have to be for her because at the end of the day, it's still her. I'm not laying down with Latoya or Keisha or whatever. I'm not. That's not that person. I'm with my woman. That's that. So yeah, the other no, that's nonsense. That doesn't challenge my masculinity.
Yeah, I just asked because back in the day it was, oh, you whipped and you this, that, and the other, blah blah blah. And I just remember, I can't remember what show it was on, and or maybe it was a movie, and the dude was like, "Oh, you whipped," and he was like, "When is that ever a bad thing?"
Yeah, like damn. So if whipped equals being in love, then shoot, I'll be whipped. I love this woman with all my heart, all to the point where you're in spaces like a lounge or a club or in Home Depot, whatever, and you're assessing the situation. You're that way because your you have that much care, that much love, that much attention for your woman. Like you want to make sure she's good. So if being a simp is protecting my woman, I'll be a simp. If being a simp is opening up the door and making sure she's good, or the day to day thing you have to do to be a man to provide for your woman. If that's being a simp, then hell, let me be a simp. Let me be the sassy dude. Let me be whatever that is that society is titling right now, which it's gonna be another phrase probably in the next 24 hours.
Right.
Wherever that is. All right, cool. I'll be that. Doesn't change anything for me, but for you, on the other hand, best of luck to you. Hopefully you're not the chick that's sitting on the couch in the house at 45, 50 with a bunch of cats. Run around the house, but that's my view on that.
For me, I don't think it challenges your masculinity because of the fact I look at it like this. As a dude, we're always going to move for the right woman. Not
Right.
every woman, but the right woman. For the right woman, you're going to do things that you wouldn't do for most women. And that's the part that I think a lot of people don't understand. And that's on both sides, male and female. For the right person, you're going to do certain things. You're going to make sure that they're good. You want to do things that make them smile, make them safer, make them feel better, make their day easier, make their year easier. Whatever the case may be, it's one of those things that you feel like that's now part of your job when you find that person. Like, hey, all right, I know you're not doing nothing today. Hey, let's go grab breakfast. Why? I'm hungry.
Good.
I'm hungry. Let's go grab breakfast.
You always hungry.
Yeah.
So feed me.
Simple as
Really
that.
not no
It's not complex. Like care for a woman or just care, not just drop the woman, drop the man, but caring for a person and doing stuff for them just because that's you thought about them, or just because you simply want to be around them, spend that time with them. That should be that's it. That's why not have that? Why not be that person and be able to receive and give that type of love, and that type of attention to somebody and grow and that bond going to get it right, right away, but eventually you do get it, and you're like I said, you're just that person's person, you know. The world can be flipped upside down, and it's just like at the end of the day, upside down, I'm still looking at you like you my person. I'm good. I'm safe. So it doesn't matter what's going on in the world around me. But like, why not? Why not do
I
it?
thought you was going to do a headstand for a
Nah,
minute.
you go
You
ahead
did one
and
of these numbers. I was like, where we going? Where we going?
they flip the camera, but no.
Oh,
No, but be there for your person. Be that active listener. Have that communication. Give that love. Do the get the flower because why not? Give them money for a haircut because why not? Just it's the simple things. This is very minor, simple things, and that's what we have to keep in mind for ourselves to make. Because, like I said, the world does attack us on a regular basis, but we just gotta be, like I said, we gotta be conscious of what we're doing, and just be, like I said, just be there for that person. It's the simple things, and that's going to make the relationship prosper. It's going to make her feel safe. It's going to make him feel safe, and that's all that really matters at the end of the day.
Amen. Like,
cool. You got another question, sissy?
no,
That's your nephew. That's your nephew calling us.
No, I'm just thankful to have had this conversation. I really didn't know where this was going. Lord, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, fellow whiners. I was a bit concerned about this conversation. But I think it's been barring some, technical stuff, as we still working with new platforms. um, it's been good. I'm thankful for that. I think Ariane pretty much summed it up. It's about balance. It's about who you're with. I think this whole simp thing, pick me thing, which both terms have gone so far from their original intention and definitions anyway, is really just a way for miserable people to keep other people miserable, quite frankly. On both sides. On both sides.
Right.
It is that. It is a way for people that don't know you to control your movements and put doubt in your head of, oh, he's doing this, oh, she's doing this, oh, why would you do this? Why would they do this? Oh, if you're a good man, you will pick a simp. If you're a good woman, you will pick me. Why? Like, it's come so far because of all the gender wars that for the people who don't want to participate, the people on your side, your gender, have to still try to get in your head to get you in their camp, right? Like, whether it's the we are men who hate all women camp or we are the women who hate men camp, everybody's trying to manipulate you into their camp. And I think it's important. I think what was said was it's important to just be you and be with the person that you're gonna be. And we are advocates on this here podcast of communication, open and honest, and of being yourself and being true to you in your relationship.
That part. Thinking for yourself. The one thing to sum all this up, I agree with everything you just said, Siobhan. The one thing we are big advocates for is thinking for yourself. Even right here on this podcast, you all have watched, we all do not agree on a lot of different things. We all have different views, opinions. We've all had different life challenges and situations and causes us to think differently, but that doesn't mean that we can't see someone else's point of view. But just because I see and understand your point of view doesn't mean I have to agree with you. That doesn't mean that I have to be in your amen corner. That doesn't mean that I have to be your cheerleader. And I think when we learn to understand and accept that part, we will be so much further than where we currently are as a society, as male versus female, as a species, whatever you want to call it. I think we'll get a lot further if we just accept that part of life in general. I think when we have to remember safety lies in the eyes of the beholder.
I think the thing for me with safe spaces is this. It goes
Safety
back.
lies in the eyes of the beholder because what I think make you feel safe might not make you feel safe. So in my eyes, I did this, so you should be safe. You should feel safe. In your eyes, you did that, and that's exactly why I don't feel safe. So safety could be in the eyes of the beholder, okay? But you have to know who's looking at you. You got to know that part. You got to understand that person, even a little bit, to create small safe spaces that then become larger and larger and larger and larger and larger. And when you don't care, you can drop it. But if you care,
But I think that goes back to what Ariane said initially for me, and that is that you can't be someone else's safe space, since that's what we were talking about. That's what these past two episodes have been about. Unless you are good with you. Like you, and that comes from thinking for yourself, being authentic with yourself, being honest with yourself about what you value. Because no, if then you prevent all the simp pick me gender wars from coming in and affecting your situation because you're straight. You have to be, I think we have to be secure in who we are, and then be secure in the person that we're choosing, and use that discernment, use that communication, use all of those things. Um, and build your own bear, build your own relationship, build your own. Just that's it. And what works for you may not work for somebody else. And anything and everything in life. So
facts. Facts. We talked about that last year when we talked about gender roles. Check that episode out too. Or maybe that was 2 years ago.
it's
I
been a
don't know.
while.
Yeah, just check that out too. Y'all just go back in the whole thing and just look at it all, okay? But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we will say cheers to that. This is the part of the show where we give our smash or pass wine. Our smash or pass on our wines. That's the wine review that we give until, and we give our actual number ratings at the wine out. I know this is a change for you. So, Sissy, are you smashing or you passing, boo?
I would have to pass on Valentina.
Oh,
Not like a hard pass, but like
Bobby Valentina. Okay.
yeah. First of all, the cover of her is like velvety. So
Oh, this is beautiful.
this is beautiful. You just want to caress it. That's why I've been doing this. This is wonderful, unexpected.
Uh-huh.
She's pretty. She's real pretty, right? Okay.
I like pretty bottles.
We like pretty bottles. So this is, for those, as a reminder, Viva Valentina out of Italy, made with organic grapes by Terra Siciliani. Sorry, Sarah Siciliani. It is 14% ABV, so it's a good time. She a good time. I'm saying. But I would have to pass. Like I would have to be like, she's a bitter red. Like she's pretty red too, but it's a it's a little too it's a little too dry in the mouth after for me. Like I need some water right now. Um, Definitely you feel that 14%. I also haven't eaten today, y'all. So there's that. I'm trying to think. It says, I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but this Viva Valentina wine is well structured, full bodied, yes, wine with notes of dark cherries, blueberries, vanilla, and chocolate. A perfect accompaniment to cheese and Italian cuisine. And I think it's the cherries that are bringing that tart, but I think the blueberries is what's drying out my mouth because I'm not a blueberry fan. I think this would be good with dinner if you're looking for. So if you want to do a romantic dinner before the end of the month, get your Viva Valentina.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But for me, I'm a pass.
Yeah, okay, but you're gonna pass. Okay. I'm gonna smash her. I'm gonna smash Menage. You know what I'm saying? I'll smash her a little bit. This is a Pinot Noir from California. The ABV is 13.8% alcohol by volume. And pretty much it's a dark cherry, juicy raspberry, wrapped sensual vanilla with a kiss of mocha. Yeah, I'm a smasher. This will be like maybe like a periodic smash. Like, oh, I might circle back once or twice, but it's not a lifelong commitment type smash.
Got you. Got you.
But it was a good time.
It was a good time.
It was a
Okay.
good time. It was a good time. I think this would be good for dinner. You know, the late night smash. You know, that's
Just know that if we talk like this,
right,
this show will be going viral because we be all kind of names.
right, exactly.
We talk about wine. We just talk about wine.
Right.
But
We talking about wine. We talking about wine.
We are talking truly
You
wine.
know, ain't the case.
That is truly just what we're
A
talking
whole
about.
lot of subliminals in it.
Right.
There's no subliminals. We are literally talking about wine. We're just giving relatable language. There we go. Similes and metaphors, you know? Yeah. So, well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank our wonderful guests. You guys are our first guests for the new year for joining us and opening up a little bit, just a little bit, y'all. We just literally tapped over the surface of creating safe spaces. We definitely know there's so much more in that comes with creating a safe space. There's so much you can dig a little deeper in reference to this topic and this subject, and we are happy to do so. Just comment in the comment section. We are happy to have a conversation with you. And be sure to like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We're here. And we will see you next week. So remember, as always,
there's nothing wrong with a little wine.
or
a lot.
Toodles.